Good afternoon, good evening. My name is K. Jamal Jones. This is Road TRS. Road TRS, and today's topic is skinny, big, small, fat. In high school, junior high school, elementary school, as long as I can remember, I've always been a very slim, slender dude. When I was in high school, my nickname was Slim. Right, real catchy, right, real clever, because I was just so slim. And it's funny because when we think about individuals who are overweight, we can see what it is that they struggle with. So even though you have some people who are insensitive and people who are just mean, say things like, be quiet, fat boy, or fat girl, or whatever, for the most part, people know that they probably shouldn't say that. But there's another side that people never really talk about. I've never really heard it talked about, is that individuals who are slim don't like necessarily hearing skinny boy, skinny girl, or slim boy, slim girl, and it's crazy because growing up, that was one of the things I couldn't stand. I'm like, man, I'm so skinny. I'm trying to get strong. I'm trying to get some muscles. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And I would get upset when somebody called me slim. Now, I never said this, and I never really made a big deal about it outwardly, but I would get upset when somebody called me slim or skinny or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, well, why am I getting upset about the fact that somebody is calling what they see? Why am I getting mad that somebody is looking at me and they're basically calling me what they see? So it made me think. It's like, okay, well, if I don't like it, I can either sit here, continue to complain, cry on the inside, or I can do something that's going to transform this body of mine to the body that I desire. Now, I know I just said a lot. I know I said a mouthful. But here's the thing. Some of us have built-in comforts around our weaknesses. I'll say that again. Some of us have built-in comforts around our weaknesses. So in other words, if we're obese, or if we're too thin, or if we're too with whatever, instead of us addressing what the real issue is, we'll build a comfort around what we don't like, right? And then we get upset when somebody calls us on what they see. So if somebody calls us big such and such, or little such and such, or skinny such and such, or fat such and such, we get upset. But the reality of it is that you can't get upset with an individual for calling what they see. So now, since you know and since you understand what this title or this body physique does to you, and you don't like it, instead of building a comfort around it, acknowledge it and say, you know what? I'm not going to build a comfort zone around something that I'm uncomfortable with. I'm going to eradicate this thing right now. And you take that first step and you say, you know what? I don't like being skinny. Let me start doing some push-ups. I don't like being obese. Let me start walking a little bit. I don't like being big. Let me start doing some exercise. I don't like being considered what they call fat. Let me start, by changing my diet. And this is not an indictment on anybody who's big, skinny, fat, or whatever. This is about acknowledging something that makes you uncomfortable and being able to attack it on your own during your own time so that you're not offended by somebody who's just calling what they see. Because when they're calling what they see, they're not trying to be purposely, hurtful, though some people are. And if they are, then they're just idiots. But if somebody calls you big such and such or little such and such, then it's not for you to get upset or angry with them because all they're doing is calling what they see. Now, what you have to do is say, you know what? Let me remove this comfort zone from around this thing that makes me uncomfortable. and let me get to the body, get to the place that I desire to be, whatever that is. So if you desire to be 200 pounds, or if you desire to be 300, 400 pounds, whatever it is you desire, get on your job and do whatever it is you have to do to become that person, that individual, that when you look in the mirror at night and when you go to bed at night, you can smile, you can be happy, you can be satisfied, because at the end of the day, you, me, us, we have to live with this temple called our bodies. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribes to Kenyon Jones on YouTube. We're grateful for the support from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I want to remind you to always, always, always rock out with the rock stars. Thank you for watching, and God bless.